Welcome back to the show. Many thanks for staying with us. There's a major health risk looming at Kpaguri, a suburb of Wa, due to the insanitary conditions there. Residents on a daily basis struggle with the pungent smell coming from refuse left unattended to for days. On JoyNews agenda today, Rafiq Salam reports that residents also prefer to openly defecate than to pay 20 pesos to attend nature's call at a nearby commercial toilet because, according to them, the amount is too high.
This refuse dump, located at Kpaguri, a suburb of Wa, was part of several refuse dumps in the Wa municipality that were cleared by the Wa Municipal Assembly. Hitherto, you will have thought that it was a landfill site due to the huge pile of refuse that were kept here. It appears, however, that the work of the assembly is coming to naught as residents in the community have gone back to their old ways to dump the refuse on the ground rather than the metal containers provided by the Wa Municipal Assembly. The ripple effect is that the refuse easily moves to the homes of the residents who are closer to the dump site, thereby posing danger to them. A nursery instructor, Madam Hawa Ahmed, has been staying here at Kpaguri for the past 30 years, and she has lived with the refuse for same years. She blamed the situation on reckless parents who normally send kids to dump the refuse.
Around 6:30, we are all indoors because of the scent. And we are afraid that even though at times the faults come from us, because we, the elderly women, we will never bring the distance to pour inside the container. We rather give it to small children. When they come, they can't clap. They just come and stand and pour it under the distance. And when you want to talk, they will tell you that place is not part of your plot, especially the natives. So we are always having misunderstandings.
The first thing that greets you in the suburb is the pungent smell. 35-year-old mother of 5, Zainat Adam, said she has lived with the situation for close to 5 years and passes by sometimes wonders how they are able to survive with such filth.
There are times
that I sack children from dumping refuse here because they are too young. Our rooms are always inundated with house flies. You cannot even cook outside, let alone eat here. We sometimes get sick as a result of the filth. Our children are the most affected.
One municipal chief executive, Alaji Sakutayr Momin, expressed worry over the kind of people who are involved in this unhealthy act.
One time I decided to do some inspection work around that place myself. Unfortunately, I got there, I saw a woman, who came to dump refuse there, seeing the container, but she decided to put the refuse on the floor because she doesn't know me, so I decided to engage her. Finally, I was surprised to know that that particular woman was a police officer. So can you imagine this? Somebody who could even give civic education to people not to do what she has done, and yet she has gone to do it. And that tells you the kind of situation we find ourselves. It's really, really, really disturbing.
A more worrying development is a sea of human excreta dotted across the refuse dump. This, I'm told, are always done either in the night or during the wee hours of the morning by unscrupulous elderly persons.
As for the small children, at times they do it in polythenes and come and throw it. But the elderly people, they come around 6:30, 7 in the night. Dawn 5:35. If you come, you will meet them and you can talk. You will see, even here, just behind here. All we have been quarreling with people. We are even surprised. This quarrel doesn't come here since the time of they are bringing their container. Because at times, if you even come here, you would step on shit here before entering my compound.
At 7 p.m., we were back at the refuse dump site with our camera firmly focused and on the prowl. Our camera battery light ran down, forcing me to use the light of my Apsonic motorbike. Few minutes later, we captured this lanky, gangly middle-aged man at the back of the garden attending nature's call. We focused our light and lens on him, forcing him to cut short his time at the back of the garden and sounded out in shame. The cruel reality, however, is that there is a private commercial toilet located at the extreme end of the refuse dump. Some of the residents, however, complain that the 20 pesos charge by the toilet operator is too costly and prefer to go on the free range. Alhaji Abdurrahman Dodo is the chief butcher of Wa and also owns this private commercial toilet. He refuted claims that the 20 pesos charge at the toilet is too costly, but rather it has to deal with the attitude of the people. I have always asked those who defecate in the open where their houses were located, and they always point to a nearby house. I ask whether they think they cannot be sick as a result of what they are doing. My worry is that majority of the people who are doing that are Muslims, and Islam teaches us the best way to keep our community clean. I got 2,000 yellow now because 2,000 yellow. I'm the original chief butcher. Quite nothing but delay.
No, people defecate outside if there is no toilet facility. But the facility is there for you to go in to defecate, and yet you decide to do it outside. And that tells you that it's attitudinal. So the attitude of the people living that area is the cause of what is happening there, but not as a result of somebody's inefficiencies or somebody's not being ready, at least to do work there. In fact, before we came into office, there was a heap of garbage around that area. It took us to collaborate with Zoom Lion and the landfills unit to clear that area. And we did that perfectly. And then the toilet there was completely silted. And we have to desilt it. We commit resources to that place to make sure that we evacuate everything that was inside and make the place clean for people, to use. But here's the case: they still leave it and defecate outside. And I think we have to change our ways to employ other tactics. At least that will put the fear of God into the minds of those people to stop defecating outside.
It will interest you to know that close to 20 years ago, the Denwa district was declared by the Ministry of Tourism as the cleanest city in Ghana. The blunt truth, however, is that majority of the streets and gutters here are clean, but few people are still bent on littering them, whilst others engage in open defecation. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wow.